Namaste. For Utthita Parsvokonasana, also known as extended side angle, this pose can be extremely challenging. In this pose, it does build up to more advanced poses, which you tend to see on many different magazine covers and so on. We will begin with a more modified version of this pose. So to begin, let's start on our knees, and then take your left foot out and turn it so that it's pointing forward. From here, keep that right knee and the right hip in one line. Take the left forearm to your thigh and just rest it there. Your right hand can rest on your hip, and this can be the modified version of your Utthita Parsvokonasana, extended side angle. Now from here it does build up. So if you wanted to take this a little bit further, go ahead and reach for your block and place your block on the third height. Remember, we discussed you have level 1, or this is the third, then you have the 2 height, and then you have the 1 height. So you pick the height you want to use. Place it on the outside edge of your left foot and place your hand at the top of the block, keeping the right hand on the hip. Begin to roll your right shoulder back and look in the direction of the sky if that's available for you and for your neck extensors. If not, then continue to look down at the ground, but bring awareness to the belly and notice that your breath might become shallow. This is where you're going to want to increase the depth of your breath. Remember the Ujjayi breath and the Durga breath that we've been working through. When you're complete here, you'll return back to a neutral position. Now the next progression of the pose. For those of us that were in, say, a warrior 2 position, you're going to want to have heel to arch alignment. Remember that in this pose, your ankles are parallel to your wrists, which will require you to widen your stance significantly. Keep pressing towards the outside edge of your right pinky toe, or whichever foot you're working on, and then remember to bend into the left knee, so your left thigh will ultimately become parallel to the earth here. This is a very strong pose. You're going to take the left elbow and gently rest it on your left thigh. Your right hand to your right hip. Continue to rotate the right hip back. Simultaneously engage the transverse and rectus abdominals, contracting towards the spinal column. You're going to rotate from the lower ribs and gaze up to the sky. At the same time, you're using your left elbow and forearm to keep the left knee from tracking in. It is a hip opener. Remember, we are in an open hip pose. If anyone with sciatica tends to have an aggravation or an episode here, have them come up out of the pose, but sustain the leg so that way they're getting the stretch. But keep them lifted so they're not overbearing. Another option to take it further is that left hand down or to the inside of your foot so that you're keeping that elbow opening up the knee. Now, you're going to begin to lower the hip so the knee becomes the thigh becomes parallel to the ground, utilizing the block to help you, and then begin to rotate the chest towards the sky. Ultimately, the right arm comes up, rotate the palm forward, and you're reaching one line of energy. Notice the core active. Deep breaths. Now, you have another option from this pose. As I said before, it does go deeper. So, those of you that are now no longer needing, say, the block, and your hand is on the ground, your hip is parallel to the earth. Notice how low you are here. Right hand rotate away and behind, reaching under the core or under the thigh. With the other hand, you're going to take a bind. You're going to lengthen through the core and look up to the sky. You'll be here for 5 breaths. From that space, you will slowly begin to come out of the pose the same way you came into it and bring your feet together. If you had any other questions, please let me know. I will give you a modification for this with the chair in another video series. Now, if you had a wall nearby, then another variation is, like we've been working on before, coming back into that extension and having that block be your guide, and hold the block with your knee on the wall. You can rest your forearm on the thigh and reach the arm overhead, or press your hand into the wall and help rotate the heart to the sun. Inhale, come back to center and release. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope this helped you with your yoga journey. Namaste.